Another morning meant another exciting day in Kruger National Park. This is a place I personally consider to be one of the best national parks on the continent of Africa, if not the world. Not only for its incredibly diverse population of wildlife, but also for its stunning physical beauty and diverse landscapes. From the moment I entered the Crocodile Bridge Gate on my first day, I knew this park was extra special. My decision to spend nearly 2 weeks exploring Kruger certainly proved to be a good one, as this gave me plenty of time to observe the wildlife and explore more remote areas of the park. By the time I left, Kruger had already come to feel like a second home. Although nearly everyone hopes to see the Big Five when visiting Kruger, the park is actually home to more than 147 mammal species, 114 reptile species, and most impressively, more than 500 bird species, making it one of the most diverse ecosystems on Earth. Just like most of my days on safari, I started early just after sunrise, on my way to explore the southern area of Kruger, between Crocodile Bridge and Lower Sabi, later moving on up towards Skakusa Camp, the largest rest camp in Kruger. This is the Goliath Heron, the world's largest heron species and probably one of the largest birds I've ever seen, period. It can get up to 1.5 meters tall and boasts an impressive wingspan of up to 2.3 meters, making it one large and imposing bird on the savanna. These imposing birds can be found throughout much of sub-Saharan Africa and prefer to live solitary lives, sticking to water sources where they hunt for their prey, which generally consists of small fish that they pluck from the water. Unfortunately, this was the only one I got to see on my entire trip, so this particular encounter was all the more special. This is a male steenbok, one of Kruger's smallest antelope species. Although there are tons of grazing antelope species in the park, there is something special about spotting this particular one. Aside from their adorable and almost Rudolph-like appearance, they have 2 large ears, with the males also having 2 small and straight horns atop their head. As they are normally solitary and relatively small in size, they aren't easily spotted, particularly in areas with higher grass. Although this one didn't seem to be too bothered by my presence, they are often skittish and run at the first sign of danger. Hippos are quite common throughout the park, easily found in both rivers and ponds. After elephants and rhinos, hippos are the 3rd largest terrestrial animal on Earth, usually weighing in somewhere between 1,300 and 1,500 kilograms. They prefer staying together in large groups known as pods. Even when there is tons of water real estate around, these pods normally stick close together in the water. Don't let their adorably rotund shape and cute appearance fool you, as they are certainly one of the most dangerous mammals in Africa, known for having quite short tempers and attacking almost anything that invades their space. Although they forage mostly on land, hippos prefer spending the bulk of their time in water, with the unique ability to sleep entirely submerged, coming up for air periodically while still being asleep. This particular hippo decided to break off from the pod and take a swim in the rapids, using them like its own personal jacuzzi. While exploring Kruger, I found that it was a good idea to head off of the tar roads and onto the large network of unpaved roads throughout the park, as they were usually quiet and also lots of animals can be found in these places as they are less disturbed by road traffic. Giraffes are certainly a common sight throughout Kruger, sometimes in groups and other times solitary. I never get tired of watching these land giants meandering around, stripping the trees of their foliage. Giraffes are not always alone. You can often see these tiny birds with bright beaks hitching a ride on their backs. These are red-billed oxpeckers, and they eat the ticks and other little bugs off the skin of most mammals on the savanna, giraffes included. They make a very distinct sound as well. Although there are quite a few subspecies of giraffe throughout the African continent, the only one found in Kruger is the South African giraffe, otherwise known as the Cape giraffe. You might also see the male giraffes sparring, where they swing their necks at each other in a show of dominance. This is also known as necking. This particular pair carried on doing this for some time. The winner is usually the one with the biggest head and the strongest neck. Not too much further up the road was a herd of zebra, protecting a couple of their young. Besides doing some goofy zebra stuff, they were making their way down to a nearby lake to get a drink. I'm not sure what it is, but I always find watching them entertaining, as I think they could possibly be the quirkiest creatures on the savanna. They weren't even bothered by the nearby crocodile, sunning itself on the shore of the lake. Getting back to the tar road, it wasn't long before I encountered a bit of traffic. It was a large hippo crossing the road to get to a patch of grass on the other side. It was quite the sight, as normally hippos come out of the water in the morning and in the afternoon, but not often in the heat of the midday sun. And it was hot outside, almost 38 degrees Celsius. I certainly wasn't expecting what happened next. The road had another slight obstruction. This time it was hundreds upon hundreds of African buffalo crossing the road. The herd slowly passed in front of my vehicle, with some of the buffalo looking my way. It was a little unnerving, as these large mammals are known for their unpredictability. Not to mention, they have a special way of just staring you down. This was probably the largest group of buffalo I had ever seen. There might have been 1,000 or more, as the crossing took almost 20 minutes to complete. The best thing to do is just sit back and enjoy the show, as the animals always have right of way. And let me say, these animals are pretty huge, with some males reaching over 850 kilograms in weight, more than enough to flip a car on its side. Finally, the last of the herd made its way across the road to get down to the Sabi River. Around every turn is another surprise in Kruger National Park. This time it was a leopard, taking a rest in an open field of grass.
He's looking right at me.
Leopards are somewhat of a rare find when on safari, and probably the most difficult of the big five to spot. Not to mention, when you do see them, they are often up in a tree obscured by the leaves and branches. Although this beautiful cat was in chill mode, it was still keeping an eye on me from a distance. Although their pattern seems quite colorful and ornate to the eye, it blends in perfectly with the surrounding foliage. It's absolutely amazing how nature's camouflage works when it's put into practice. However, leopards are still cats, and like all cats, they absolutely love taking cat naps, which is exactly what this one ended up doing. Just as I was heading out of the park, I spotted this impressive elephant, munching away on a tree just beside the road. The video does not do it justice, as this elephant was just absolutely massive. As a plus, the sun getting low set the perfect mood, as it blissfully enjoyed its late afternoon snack. The golden hour glow makes everything around you just pop. On this day, Kruger certainly did not disappoint. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like and subscribe button. It's certainly much appreciated as we continue to share our adventures here on this channel. Cheers!